So you have an addiction to the sugar. Well, a lot of us do, and I continually struggle with cutting back myself. So I'm going to go over 4 triggers that may be keeping you in this bad habit, which can lead to an array of health issues long term. So for the state of your future health, don't go anywhere. Before I begin, I just want to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I release videos on Sundays and Wednesdays on the simplicity of true health. Every subscriber supports my channel and I really appreciate it. So first of all, I really wouldn't recommend quitting sugar cold turkey because you will have cravings and you will likely binge as a result. So with that being said, I recommend just cutting back a little bit every day, and even the smallest progressions are at least a step in the right direction until you reach your end goal. Alright, so trigger number 4 is being unsatisfied after a big meal. So this comes from the feeling of not being completely satisfied after a big meal, and you attempt to fill that last 10% of hunger with dessert. So if this is a habit for you, I highly recommend that you just increase the portion size of your meal. And what I mean by that is that you increase the portion size of your vegetables. If you're feeling completely stuffed after a meal, it's very unlikely that you'll give in to the temptation of dessert. Something that I usually do is I'll have like 40 grams of 70% plus dark chocolate after a meal, and that like completely satisfies my sweet tooth. Alright, so trigger number 3 is going to be boredom, and I think this one applies to a lot of people. When we're bored in the moment, we start looking for something to substitute that boredom. And a lot of the time that will mean turning to something sweet because it's enjoyable and fun. So I think this one's a little bit more deeper to deal with, because if you're constantly snacking due to boredom, then I think the best way to approach it would be to try to find something more interesting in life. Like find a passion, find something to obsess with. And for all we know, we're only on this planet once, and there's so many incredible things life has to offer rather than a box of cookies. So trigger number 2, I'm going to be talking about getting tired throughout the day. So naturally we start craving sugar when we get tired because it's an instant source of energy and it's like a quick pick-me-up. And of course this is only going to solve the problem for like 30 minutes before you come crashing down. So a good way to approach the fatigue throughout the day is a little trick that I haven't really started trying yet, but I was thinking about it, and that is to drink matcha tea. So matcha tea is especially good to drink after a meal because it... What? Because it what? Because it stimulates the CCK hormone, which is responsible for slowing down digestion, which keeps you feeling fuller for longer. So matcha has a more complex structure of molecules, which makes it more difficult for your body to break it down, and in return releasing caffeine more slowly into your bloodstream, giving you a longer and more sustainable caffeine high that we all love. So trigger number 1, we're going to talk about stress. Now, I personally have never been a stress eater. The way I deal with stress is that I just pretend life is a video game and that nothing matters, which is probably less healthy. But if you are stressed often, it's so important to set up an environment that's going to reduce that level of stress and therefore the temptation. Now, this one can be really tough because dealing with stress is a whole problem in its own, let alone eating less sugar. But if they're really connected for you, it's so important to deal with stress at its source. So try different things to deal with it. Try meditation, try lighting a candle in the evening and listening to music while laying on the couch or something. And the single most powerful strategy to deal with these triggers overall is just to set up your environment so you don't have access to sugar all the time. Like if you go into the kitchen and you open your cupboard and there's not a bag of chips there, you're gonna hate yourself in the moment, but in the long term, your body's gonna love you. Also, if you have a partner or friend you spend a lot of time with, try doing this together with them, because it's going to reduce the temptation that they're going to bestow upon you when they're having their mocha latte, 100 grams of sugar, whatever, when you go out for coffee. And it will help you to keep each other accountable, which is always more powerful in itself. And just remember, if you give into your craving, it's not over. You don't have to quit. Creating new habits is hard, and breaking bad habits is even harder. So give yourself time. Let yourself have small failures and just understand that it's all part of the journey to becoming the best version of yourself. So I hope you found something in here helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And thank you for watching. I will see you next time.